The other day, I attended a workshop at Weymouth High School where I learned how to add information to my X2 gradebook so that when students logged on to the student portal, they were able to see these helpful boxes that gave them information that could help them with the class. So, for example, I have it set up that students can link to our class websites through this little website box. They have some information in this banner box that gives them an overview of the class. And I have announcements that I have set up to stay up here for 3 days. These are sort of recent videos that students have told me that they have had trouble finding. And so I put links up here specifically for that. They also have the ability to submit assignments because I created a submit assignments box. So now when I'm putting an assignment or adding an assignment to my grade book, if I check, students have the ability to submit online, then that automatically will come up in this little submit assignments box. And then lastly, a link to different class documents. These are handouts that students were given in class, but if they want an extra copy for whatever reason, they can come here, click, and print it up themselves. Or even use it online, perhaps, and submit online if I make that an option. Now, once you've created these boxes, you click on the little edit key, and that's what helps you get the information or gets the information in there. And this can be a little bit time consuming to get all these things up and running. But what's absolutely not time consuming at all and was really quick and easy is getting these boxes up here in the first place. So these boxes of information are what X2 calls pages. And if you haven't noticed it before, you actually have a page tab where you can click through to the different pages and see specific information from the school, announcements, that kind of thing. The way you create these pages is to go under the Tools tab and to go to the last little tab on this tab called Pages. And every time you're doing anything to your pages, you want to go under Options and Add. So I've already made mine, but let's just pretend I haven't. I would come under here. I would give my class a name. I like to use the course name and the period, but everybody, I'm sure, has their own idea. You also need to give your class an icon, and they have all these different choices broken up by subject matter. So, for example, you just kind of scroll through and you can try different things. If you were a French teacher, you might want to have a little French flag next to the class, and it's just one more way for the kids to identify you when they're looking at that list of course numbers. After you have set up your class, so for me I used a little globe, and this is what I call it. You want to add members. You should come up actually as a default. I'm pretty sure I did. If you don't, then you could certainly find your name on a list. And you are the administrator, so that's what you should be seeing. And then to add your students, you go to Options, Add. And you could add them individually, you could add them in groups, or what I think is the best way to do it is add them by section roster. And you click on the magnifying glass and you find the corresponding course number, click on it, click OK. I'm actually going to cancel everything just because I've already done it. The next thing that you want to do is you want to add the little boxes. Those are called widgets. And each widget kind of does its own thing, so you sort of have to play around. The ones that I did was I did an announcements widget, banner, resource library, which is where I added my documents, the submit assignments box, and then links to websites. Other things that teachers have find useful are calendars. And again, the way you add any of this is to go to Options, Add, and then there's another kind of pull-down list, 2 pages long, that gives you a whole bunch of different choices. If you wanted to, say, create a banner, you would give it a title. It could be, class rules, whatever you wanted to put on there. And you just want to make sure that you give it a position, left or right or top. And because you'll be creating several of these widgets, you want to also give it an order. Do you want this to be first or second or third? And then lastly, you want to just save it. And you can always check your work by going back to Pages